All right, guys. Well, we're back from TFCon. I'm James the Con,
I'm Bobby the Bot.
and together we are.
So as you can probably tell, I'm not in my normal background. I'm still out of town. Decided to do a family vacation as well. So I will be back home next week. So I'm actually in a closet right now. So hopefully this sounds good when you guys get a chance to listen to it.
Yes, and I am very jealous of you continuing your TFCon vacation to something else. But another set of news is we have transformed and evolved how we're doing our show. So let us know if you like the new look, if you think anything could be changed. We're always open to criticisms. So let us know what you think, and why don't we get on with the news?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. So first, let's talk about leaks, because there were some major leaks that came out regarding I think it's called the Toxitron Collection of Transformers Legacy Evolution. So this is the Walmart line. And what was leaked was, I believe, G2, who was it? G2 Mirage, as well as, I think that was it. Was there anybody else leaked?
Wasn't there a Grimlock?
Grimlock they have a picture of, which we'll be going to. Oh, it looks like they also have G2 Sideswipe, G2 Dead End as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So what do you think about those? Obviously, we have no pictures. These are just people. I don't know how they do it, so I'm going to say they hacked into the Walmart mainframe and got these. I'm interested
So,
in the Mirage because I do like that mold. But what about you, Bobby?
well, as long as they're G1 characters and look G1, I don't care about the colors necessarily, but as long as a Mirage is a racing car, I'm all for it.
Well, these are G2 characters, not G1.
Well, I mean, G2 is just G1 characters in a different color. So, I mean, as long as Mirage is a race car, he can be, green and purple. I don't care.
Yes, and then the interesting thing about this leaks is that we're getting a G2 Dead End, which makes me think they are going to finish the Menasor, which makes me almost want to finish it off. I already got Shadow Strip. I'm already a fifth there, so I always, you know me, Bobby. I'm the repaint guy, and I've always liked the G2 colors of the Stunticons better, just because of how wacky they are. So,
well, I'm right there with you. I have 1/5 of those as well. They finish it, so I'm looking forward to it. I would like that a lot.
Yeah. So why don't we move on to what was just announced? And the first thing, piggybacking off of what we just did, was the Walmart exclusive projects. It's the Toxitron Collection, and the first one we have is G2 Jazz. And before we continue, I think these are unreleased repaints. So, what do you think of Hot Cheetos Jazz?
Well, I think we're aligned with our wardrobe here, so I and I actually think I will be picking this up. It does make me want a bag of Cheetos right now, though. Now that you say that, but I love Jazz. I love the character of Jazz, so I think I will be picking this up. This was an easy one for me.
I'm on the fence only because I don't like the color of the face. I think they should have done a silver face because the color is too close to I think it has a yellow face. It's too close to the orange, and it all looks like one helmet, and it's not the best looking in my opinion. But I do have to say, he has a rocket launcher on his shoulder.
I would actually like the rocket launcher to be a different color so it stands out a little bit more. I do agree with you on the face. Whether it be the actual face or the helmet be a different color, just to build a little bit of contrast there, I would go for that.
Yes.
But I'm surprised you're on the fence because this is right up your alley as a repaint.
Yes, I just think it looks too monochrome duochrome with the orange and the red. So let's move on to Cloudraker. Now, this is one of the first for me. I am not familiar with this character at all.
Oh, okay.
But I pre-ordered it today because that is the last of the trio of the repainted Seekers. We got G2 Ramjet, the Dust Storm or Sandstorm, I forgot what they called him,
Sandstorm.
and now this guy. So we got 3 jets repainted. I couldn't be happier. The Seekers come in 3s, so this will be added to my collection.
I love this one. Honestly, I can't give it enough praise. It is the Ramjet mode, which I loved as a kid. I think I actually had the G2 Ramjet, which made me, actually love this even more. So the color is different, but I love the yellow and black in the shoulder or whatever those things are. I love the way that looks. And in the feet, yes. Yeah. It just comes out of nowhere, which I actually like because it breaks up the blue and white. So bravo to Hasbro on this.
Yes, I'm really happy to see this repaint come to light. And one I'm even more ecstatic to come to light, even though I wish it was bigger, is Toxitron himself. So I chose the picture of the truck because it actually shows the trailer, which I think is really cool. This is what I've been wanting. Do I wish it was 10 inches tall? Hell yeah. But I will take anything at this point. I'm desperate. So I will be getting this. And if they make the labels for the trailer, like the prototype from 2000 did, I will be picking those up. So get on it, Toy Hacks.
You've been talking about a Toxitron since I've known you, and that's been over a year now. And I am so happy for you that this figure is actually coming to fruition. So congrats on this. I know you'll be the first to get this if possible. I actually may be picking this up myself as well. I'm on the fence about it, but I am leaning, and it's more so just because of the actual figure, not the character, but just the actual toy itself. So that's kind of holding me or putting me on the fence.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I think you'll like it. It's different, and this is a character I've always wanted. I think we've talked about it before.
Right.
Ever since I saw those prototype images it was like BotCon 2002, and it never came out, I always wanted a Toxitron. I don't really like the laser frame mold after getting it for Scourge. Those shoulders are something else.
I had it for Prime, and that's what I'm talking about.
But I am buying this. I am supporting this. And, maybe one day we will get a third-party Laser Prime Toxitron that I can put on my shelf next to my other favorite third-party figures. But this will take its place for now.
MP all the way, and I would grab it.
Yes, I'm sure you grabbed a Legends one.
Hey.
We'll talk about that soon, guys. That's a teaser. So the final one that has been announced was Grimlock in the unreleased yellow tiger stripe color scheme. And I found this very funny because we just got back from TFCon where this was one of the exclusives. And they don't have pictures of the actual toy like the other ones, which makes me think somebody saw this sell out because it did sell out on, I believe it was Toy Dojo or ages 3 and up. I think it was Toy Dojo. They sold out already. So I think someone in Hasbro was like, quick, throw it together. Like, this is going to make us money.
I wish I could disagree, but I was literally thinking that Hasbro was following us with our shopping cart because I definitely picked this up at TFCon. And so to see it announced or actually during TFCon, I was just like, wait a minute. So yeah, I will be picking this up. I will be picking this up, though.
I'm on the fence. I love my one from TFCon, but I really want to try out this Leader Grimlock mold because I don't have it because it didn't come with a sword, and that's a no-go for me. That wasn't worth the money. But I think maybe in a color scheme like this, I'd be more willing to pick it up. Honestly, I want the G2 Grimlock colors, the normal G2 Grimlock colors, the blue. Because I already have the yellow one from Fans Projects now,
Yeah.
But I'm on the fence. if I'm at Walmart and this is on the shelf, I might just pick it up. We'll have to see. But the ones I pre-ordered were Toxitron and Cloudraker, so let's get it.
I have to get my pre-orders on. I forgot.
I did it first thing in the morning, so I needed them. That Toxitron, ooh boy. So let's move on. Still a Walmart exclusive, but not legacy, is the reissue of G1 Hound. And now I know you're ecstatic about this because if I remember correctly, was this your first G1 or first Transformer ever?
This was my first Transformer ever. Back when I was, I'm originally from San Diego, so I actually picked this up from Woolworth, which is a store that's no longer around. So this was my first Transformer way back in '84. So yes, the nostalgia, everything, little butterflies, all that's happening right now. So of course, compared to today, it's nowhere near the engineering, but just the idea of having this figure again in my collection sold as soon as I heard about it.
Yes, I will be skipping it, but I'm very happy that you can relive that important part of your childhood.
This is what created the bot.
And they're also doing Thundercracker with Megatron. Now, if I was to get this, I just want that mini Megatron to go with my figures because that's pretty cool. So I'm assuming you'll be picking this up too.
It will be the third or fourth G1 Thundercracker I have. So
really,
yes. Every time they release it, I picked it up. So it's just a habit, and I like the box. The box art looks great on these new figures that they're releasing. So I will be picking this up.
It really does. They hit it out of the park. And if they keep continuing with this windowless packaging, they need to hire whoever did these boxes and have them do all of them because they are phenomenal.
I agree, and I don't feel like I'll worry about missing parts.
Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly, So let's move on to something more in my neck of the woods, and that is the Beast Wars BWVS01 Eternal Beast Showdown pack. Now, these actually look really good. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get it because I already got them. But if I didn't have them, I would get them because these look really, really nice. Because the price had about $100. I would rather just get the MPs that might not be MPs, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think this looks really good. And if you missed out on these, I would recommend it. I really thoroughly enjoyed both figures. I think they're some of the best figures that Hasbro's produced in a long time.
So I have a little secret to tell you. I actually, when Walmart re-released all these Beast Wars figures and things, I actually picked these both up.
You did?
I did. So I do have them in my collection. I had them initially, so to come out completely, I used to collect Beast Wars a little bit. When they first came out, I did, but it wasn't as long of a collection period as G1 was for me. So I did have the originals, and so I went back and bought them when they were Walmart exclusive. So these repaints do look, or I should say repaints, but kind of updated paint. It looks like a better quality paint to me.
These are the Kingdom figures, correct?
That's why they look better. Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, I'm out. I already have the Kingdom figures. So, yeah.
Exactly. That's why I'm out. I mean, they look amazing. And I love that they use the Megatron head sculpt that was rumored. I really wish T-Rex had it, but these look great. If you don't have them, now's the time to pick them up. And I don't have a picture of the packaging. I think I have there's their alt modes, but the packaging is so iconic for Japanese Beast Wars collectors. So if I was an in-box collector, I'd definitely be buying this.
That purple does look great though, but
they really hit it out of the park with these guys.
Yeah, it looks really good.
This should have been the first release, but then they wouldn't be able to get all of our money. So now let's talk about something that I know we've talked about before TFCon, and it's a little controversial, I think, our takes, and that is the War for Cybertron figures. I don't know what happened. I hope this thing's mistransformed. I don't even know what to say.
What are those?
First of all, if you grew up with these games and this is what you've always wanted, I'm very happy for you. Because having something like that in a studio series is really cool. Like, if I could get Armada Studio Series characters, I would probably buy them because that's my childhood. So I'm very happy for you. But as somebody who did play the games, but wasn't the biggest fan of the designs, they're not my favorite. Especially this one. It's okay. The thigh kibble looks crazy, and I hope it's mistransformed. But it really looks bland. It doesn't look like Barricade.
So, as somebody who didn't play the game, and people are probably going to say the same about my love for the figure, the G1 Hound. It was my era. We'll always have a love for it. I completely agree with you. If this is the game you played, you probably love these characters. I just don't have that connection. And out of all the ones that were announced, this one was my least favorite.
Oh.
So
well,
this would be a hard pass. I don't know. It looks like Batmobile and has a SUV grill on it or something like that.
And let me say something. I think the vehicle mode is superb. It looks very well, but I think they focus too much on the vehicle modes because that robot mode just is not it for me. But this is not my least favorite one. My least favorite one is Bumblebee. The vehicle mode's fine. That chest is a offense to Transformers. It looks so bad. I can't get over it. Especially when this one was released back in 2012, 2013. It looked amazing. It was a little too big, but it looked amazing. It was a little lanky as well. But it had engineering on that is almost leader class quality in Hasbro nowadays. Like, it had some really cool engineering. And I cannot, with a sound mind, recommend this when I see that old mold. Which I know you probably don't know what it looks like. But I recommend watching a review just because of some of the engineering that went into it. It's very cool.
So this actually is my favorite one.
Really? Well, there we go. We're fighting each other again.
Yeah, I actually love the alt mode. That looks like a Cybertronian vehicle. So that looks great. I agree. The chest looks like, Bumblebee's wearing grandma's bra or something like that. So, it is a little out there, but I actually like it. It's different enough from G1, but you can see how he would have gone from this mode to a Bug, not a Camaro, but a Volkswagen Bug, and that's why I think I like this, because it makes the reference point ideal to me.
So now the big question is, are you going to be picking it up?
I'm on the fence, actually.
Really? Oh, I'm out on all these figures.
I don't know what the price point is on this. I haven't looked.
It's $25, I believe.
I have to see it in person. This actually might make it into the shelf.
All right. Well, I'll be interested to see if it does or not. Now, my favorite one was Optimus Prime, but that's not saying much because I do not like the proportions on that bot mode. Head's too tiny, everything else is too big. I know it's more or less game accurate, but I don't like it. I also do not like the weapon storage. Can we just, for a minute, take a break and realize that they are getting lazy with this weapon storage? I mean, maybe it's because I grew up in a time when the exhaust would come off and become a gun, and that was really cool. But this is just, it doesn't even peg underneath. So this is the last war for Cybertron that's been announced, and I am out on every single one.
I'm out on this one. I do not like the alt mode. I don't. The bot mode is doesn't sway me either way. I can tell it's Prime. The funny thing is, it is just a hole on top and you plug the weapons in. But as a G1er, we would lose stuff all the time because there was nowhere to store weapons at all. So I can appreciate the capability of weapon storage, even if it is a little bit lazy, even if it is just plug everything on the side or plug everything on top. Don't have to do it, but I'm glad it's somewhere for it to go because I lost all types of stuff.
Are you calling me a spoiled millennial?
Hey, you said it. Anything about that? It wasn't me. You did not hear that word come out of my mouth at all.
Okay, let's move on to some other stuff. And the first thing is a new movie thing, which is the Alliance Beast Weaponizer, Scorponok, and Sand Spear. What do you think about this, Bobby?
I think it will stay on the movie screen if it's in the movie, or it will stay on the shelf. I am not a fan. That Scorpion is kind of cute, but I'm not a fan at all.
So it's $14.99, and when I see this in shelves, it will be in my collection. This thing looks cool. I love the neon green. I love the tan. It's cheap. I love that it comes with a mini Scorpion that's a weaponizer. This can't get any more right up my alley. So, come on, Hasbro, give me the goofy things. That's what I want.
And I guess I have a lot of weaponizers, and I don't like them, even though I collect them, and that's a problem. So I think I'm going to draw the line, and I'm going to say I'm on the fence.
All right. Well, I'll see if you ever get it in your collection. All right. So let's move away from Hasbro, and let's get into the third party. The first thing is Mechanical Shell Studio MSS-01 Sirius, the Solo Wing, and this is obviously a great prototype. And it's Armada Starscream, but it is a Chug version of Armada Starscream. So it's the same size as Hasbro's attempt. And it looks good, but I don't understand the need for this. Like, where do they think they're fitting in?
So unless there's some type of masterpiece-ish transformation in there, maybe it's more steps in the transformation or so. I mean, it looks really good though.
It does. It does.
The detail looks really, really good. The molding looks really good. It looks like a very, very solid figure, So maybe that's where they're differentiating from the mainline version of it. I don't know. It looks good. It looks really good, actually. And I just picked up the Legacy Starscream as well. So this looks really good, though.
I really like it, too. I just want it to be masterpiece scale. I want it to be 9 or 10 inches tall, and they would have had my money. But as it being a Chug, it just doesn't fit in with the rest of a lot of my collection. And if I wanted a Chug Starscream, we don't know pricing on it, but I would have saved my money and just got the Hasbro one because it's good enough for this character.
I totally agree. Armada was not my favorite series in the Transformers lore, so I agree with you. I picked it up just to have, and like most of my Hasbro figures I've picked up over the last 6 months, it's still in the box.
I'm not even picking that one up because I'm just waiting for somebody to do a masterpiece version, hint, hint, fans hobby. So. Okay, so let's move on to what we saw at the third-party panel. Now, I did not include all of the figures. I only chose highlights that I think interest me and you the most.
All right.
And we'll do another video going through with our thoughts because we were live on scene doing that. So The first thing is definitely for me, and that is Bingo Toys Female Arachnid. This is Black Arachnia. This thing looks amazing. I picked up their Windblade at TFCon, and it is probably the best built figure I've opened so far from TFCon. Paint wise, build wise, it stands with high heels. You know what I mean? So I cannot wait to get this. I love the Viking helmet type of thing they gave her as a nod to her original ad. I think this is just, and they showed off the colors as purple, black, and gold in the teaser a while ago. I cannot wait to get this.
So I'm glad that you like the Windblade. I had her when it first was released sometime last year, and I know you were on the fence with it. Even when we were at TFCon, you were kind of like, you know, and then it just happened. So I'm glad you actually opened it and liked it. But with this one, I don't know yet. I have to see some more pictures, and I'll have to get back to you on this.
I think when it comes out in color, I think your tune's going to change, because the paint on Windblade is probably one of the best parts. And with this in black, purple, and gold, it's going to pop.
That's honestly why I picked up the Windblade, was because of the colors, and I wanted to have representation of the character in my collection. And as you said, I haven't seen much representation, that wasn't a statue or something like that. So I totally agree. They did a great job, and I think they'll do a great job on this, but I still have to see.
Yes. Well, one that I know you're going to be picking up is Fans Toys Variator and Diverge, which is their Gears and Swerve. So
already pre-ordered.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I know you're going to be getting these. I will not be, because I do not collect Fans Toys. They look amazing, though. I just don't want those versions of the characters in my collection. I don't know much about them, to be honest with you.
Well, I have the Bad Cube versions of them currently, so they will both replace those two characters on my shelf. Maybe I'll keep these in bot mode and keep the Bad Cube ones in alt mode or something like that. But I'm looking forward to these as well.
Speaking of alt mode, here it is. And they look very adorable in these alt modes. So I think that would be a good proposition to have one in each. And then another Fans Toys is Inquisitor, which is an amazing name. And it's Scourge / Sweeps. And this thing looks really nice. I really like this. I'm not going to get it because I'm not spending the money on him. It's the wrong Scourge for me, Bobby. Fans Toys, Scourge out of the Laser Primal bot. This one, it looks really nice, and it is tempting. But I will settle. I'll settle for the Nightstick by itself, because that thing looks sick.
So this will definitely be making it home in my collection. I do have the X-Transbot versions of the Sweeps and Scourge, so I actually will probably use this one as Scourge and use the 4 X-Transbots as the Sweeps. So I'm very excited to be getting this, and it will finally complete the collection of Galvatron and Cyclonus and Scourge from Fans Toys. So I'll have the trio.
I'm very happy to see that, because I think this looks great. It really does. It's one of the best, I think, Fans Toys that have come out that I've seen.
Yeah, plus it looks like it has better feet than the X-Transbots version does. Those feet were terrible.
Oh, well, you'll have to show me that next time, because I don't even know how those feet are.
Yeah.
So moving on to another Fans company, we got Fans Hobby, and I'm very excited about this. I think this is Dreadwing or Dreadwind. I can't remember. I think it's Dreadwing. These are the colors I'm going to get. This looks absolutely amazing in this teal color scheme. So I will be picking this up, no questions asked, as well as the US colors for their Dreadwing. Excuse me, I get those names for these guys mixed up quite a bit.
Yeah, so we saw the Japanese colors at TFCon, and
Hmm.
we're very excited when they announced this. I was already in for the Japanese colors, and I'll be picking this one up as well. So
Well,
we'll have a little bit of a differentiation on my shelf for each character.
that look good. It'll be interesting to see this one as well next to both versions of, I think it's Buster. So that'll be quite interesting. And here we have him as well. And again, I forgot their names, so I'm not gonna say it. But he looks good too. I think the wings are a bit much on his back.
Looks like a butterfly
Yes,
or a fairy.
which is weird, but I think it looks cool though. So I'll be interested to see this in colors.
I will be too, but I'm glad that it's coming out fairly soon. So by the end of the year. So
Hmm.
I'm very excited about that. So we can have the full on huge jet. I can't wait for the combined mode.
Yes, I don't have a picture of that one, but that does look cool. And finally, they've revealed a lot of Armada, but I chose this one. We have MB-20 and MB-22, which is Armada Overlord and Armada Jetfire. So Jetfire, I believe, was in the what's that called? The pre-production stage where it's still wax, while they had a full-on great prototype of Overlord. And they look okay. I was never a fan of Pants Jetfire mode. I didn't like how his legs just disappeared back in the day. So this is the same issue. But I'm very excited for those of you that think this looks cool.
I'm actually passing on both of these as well, the Overlord and the Jetfire, at least for now. I wasn't a fan of the original toy. I have them both on my shelf, and literally I don't have them combined because I didn't really care for the combined mode at all. So far this is going to be a hard pass, but we'll see what happens. Because
Exactly.
I did pick up the alt mode or the alternative colors of Prime at TFCon, which I didn't think I was going to do.
Well, you got the Power Links colors, so if they come out with the Power Links colors of the other two, you might have to pick it up.
Yeah, that's a strong maybe there.
Strong maybe. Well, and with me, I'll wait for the repaint. So get me Ultra Magnus out of that. What's his name? Overload, and I'll pick it up.
That
So
would be interesting.
let's move on, and this is YC001 Legend Scale Metroplex, and these are the first renders. So for you Legends fans out there, here you go. I don't know how big it's going to be, but I think this thing looks pretty good. There's a lot of detail, which I like.
So I am not a Legends collector, even though I picked up 3 Legends figures over the last week or so. This looks really good. The detail looks amazing. The head has so much detail in it, but I am not a Legends collector, so I will not be picking this up. Please let me keep my word.
just get ready for the BAM.
I do not need to go down that scary, slippery slope. I do not want to do it. I will not buy Legends. I will not buy Legends. I will not buy Legends.
Well, here's another legend that I think you should get. Oh wait, no, we're going to the updates. Excuse me. So the first thing is the Transformers Rise of the Beast Target exclusive multi-packs. And so they found pictures of these, which we already talked about before. So this is the kids versions of Cheetor, Nightbird, and no, excuse me, Bumblebee, Air Razor, and Autobot Mirage. I got them mixed up. So these are only going to be $59.99, which is very reasonable nowadays for a 3-pack. So I think these will be good for kids. And I think that Mirage looks better than the Studio Series one.
Don't get me started. I actually thought about picking these up for my kid. So it is possible that she will be getting these because, as you said, the price isn't too much, and she would probably enjoy having something that she can play with, and if she broke it, I won't be upset.
Yeah, and I think that she would like these, as well as what I already spoiled, which is Cheetor, Nightbird, and Wheeljack. Now, we've already seen all of these before, so I'm very interested to see what the Studio Series versions of Nightbird and Wheeljack look like.
Hot mess. I am
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in that Wheeljack. I'm sorry. I'm just
Well,
that hurts.
it's kind of, yeah. They people are thinking they're going to redesigning their heads just like they did with Sonic the Hedgehog movie, where they had the original horrible design and then put it out again. But I think this is kind of showing us that that's not going to happen.
Yeah, gosh, so upset.
Well, from one depressing note to a much lighter note, we have in-hand images of Legacy Shrapnel. And this thing looks pretty dang good. I like it. I'm already have it pre-ordered. I like the Insecticon, so I'll be happy to add this to my collection with kickback.
Same here. I started it, so I have to finish it. So I will be adding this as well. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I do have kickback, so it makes sense to have this. And I like that pose that he's in. It shows that there's, and the colors on his feet. That looks really good. So I will be picking this up. I've always liked the Insecticon colors.
And that's why I picked that picture, was to show the posability. It looks pretty good. It does look kind of boring at the same time, but it does look pretty good.
Yeah.
So something that I think you might be interested in is the Nemesis Cannon Transformer. So quick tangent. We were at TFCon and Bobby was trying to tell me this thing actually took pictures, and I almost thought about pre-ordering it.
I almost got him.
It does not take pictures. So don't be ordering this. But I think this looks okay for what it is. I will not be getting it. I really like that teal Decepticon symbol on his shoulder, but I just cannot get over those proportions. Maybe it's because the head's too small, but it's just too much for me.
It has teal in the knees, on the waist. I mean, that's what you've been screaming for from several of the recent Nemesis characters. So, I mean, you're getting
it. And it turns into a camera.
Well, so now you can see what you've been missing.
Yeah, no. And I like the purple matrix. So this, and I like the camera accessory. It's not bad. I just have no place for it in my collection, and it's too expensive to get a fun little one-off figure.
The camera looks amazing when it's transformed. The camera looks amazing, and if it goes on sale, I may pick up. Let me not say that. I'm not going to put that out there yet.
Yeah, almost. Universe almost got you.
It did. It did.
All right, moving on to something that I don't know what you're getting. So we showed this off in a short, but there are in-hand images of the Generation Select Guardian robot and Lunar Tread. Now, this is my preferred color scheme for Omega Supreme, but the price is ridiculous, and I am not paying $200 for this. So I'm out just on the price. I wish I wasn't. I'll wait for the sale. Titans always go on sale. I saw Black Zarak for like $110 on Best Buy like 3 weeks ago. So I'm waiting, but it looks really nice.
When this was announced, I was on it. I jumped to put my pre-order in, and I saw the price and immediately closed down my laptop. So this, like you, I won a Guardian. I missed out on the Fans Toys Guardian, so this was the closest I can come to getting it. But at TFCon, I actually picked up the Wei Jing Omega Supreme. I just purchased the DX9 Gabriel, which is Omega Supreme, and I got MP versions for a little bit more than what this is costing. So I'm out on this as well. And like you, I will be waiting on the sale if there is one. And if not, then sorry,
Yep.
collection. It does look
Feel the
good
same
though.
way. Feel the same way. It looks nice, and I can't wait to see some reviews on it.
Yeah.
So the
Be like the
last, oh, sorry?
I was gonna say it would be just like the regular Omega Supreme that they came out with a couple of years ago.
Well, yes,
And I think
but in
the only
these
thing that's
colors.
different is the color. Yeah.
Exactly. But I never watched any of those because I'm not interested in Omega Supreme. So, moving on, we've got X Transbot's Bulwark, which really confuses me with that name because it should be Bulwarks. But this is Masterpiece Scale G1 Bulkhead. Now, are you getting this?
Yes.
Oh no, here we go. He's gonna get all the animated figures now.
No. Definitely not. Definitely not. No. No. Triple no. Literally, I love this mold. I got all the other utility vehicles that X Transbots did with the Inferno and Grapple and um, Artfire, and so I love those figures. They were on my list, I believe, for top figures last year.
They
Um,
were.
and so the way that they've done this is really kind of cool. And I mean, it looks like the shell is just going to fold up and end up on his shoulders. But I really love the figures, and they're so stable and so sturdy and posable. So this figure will make it into my collection only because it will go along with the other three I have, not because of who the character is.
Yes. I will not be picking this up because it's X Transbots. But if this was by another company that wasn't X Transbots, I think the head is much too much of a difference from the rest of the body. It's too cartoon, while the body's more of a mix of cartoon and. But let me put this: the head's animated, the body's G1, and I don't like how that's connecting. But how they transferred Grapple or Inferno into Bulkhead with the kibble being in the appropriate spot is very cool. I will give them props for that. But I will not be getting any X Transbots in the future.
I mean, nothing like a con scored.
Well, let's why don't we see what's incoming and what you could get your hands on soon. So the first two are actually something that I thought you would be interested in, and that is fourth party Masterpiece, Grapple, and Inferno. Now these are both $53.99, and I love the red smears on their chest.
So I have the Takaras, and
I know, but I thought
the X Transbots.
you're not going to get another.
No.
Huh? No, you don't need. Oh wow! I thought you'd want them in like vehicle mode or something like that.
No, I already have the Takaras in vehicle modes now. And honestly, these were not characters I really loved from the show.
Oh, okay.
Literally, they check the box for having a representation of the character.
I get you. You loved that X Transbots mold so much. I might have thought you liked them a little bit more.
No, I just love that mold. So yeah.
Like you, I do not love these characters. I will not be picking these up. But that price is really good for $53.99.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If I didn't have them, I would have grabbed them.
Yes, I'm sure you would have. So let's move on to Magic Square MSO2W Star Commander, and this is obviously Ultra Magnus, and this is their 2.0 version. So what do you think of this, Bobby?
He looks like he could be trying out for the Olympics with that flexibility there. Jeez, That's hurting myself right now. I like the colors, of course. Although I just really don't know. I have to see a little bit more. And I know I was looking at the Prime, for example, but I heard there was some issues with it, so I skipped it. I don't know if those issues are going to transfer over to this character as well, or if they may have fixed some of those issues. So that's where I'm at on it. I know you were looking at this possibly
I
though.
was. We were at TFCon, and I was like, dang, that looks good. I don't know if you remember, but I was like, I like that. And I might have bought it. So, okay, yeah, I did buy it. I saw the price for 120, and I could not pass this up. The posability is amazing. This is my preferred look for Ultra Magnus. Armor be damned. This is what Ultra Magnus will always look like in my eyes because of the Dreamwave comics. So this is what I've been waiting for. I cannot wait to get it. The posability is amazing. It looks way better in this color scheme than either the Nemesis, which I can't believe I'm saying that, but either the Nemesis or the Optimus Prime colors. This wasn't even on my radar, so I'm blaming TFCon for making me even look into this.
I love it.
So, so I'll let you know how it is when I get it in, because I'm ecstatic. Like this, the posability is what really made me go into this. Because if you remember not Striker Noir, excuse me, the MMC Nemesis Prime, I don't remember which one is the Idiocracy Prime, repainted Nemesis Prime, was my favorite figure or my second favorite figure of last year, just because of the playability and the posability alone. And this looks like it's going to be in the same boat. I watched some reviews. It's rather easy to transform. It's not like MP44, was it, or MP45? I don't remember which one.
MP44. Yeah.
It's not like MP44. It's actually doable. So I think this is going to be a contender if everything works out and it works like how I want it to. It's a contender for one of my top 5 of the year because it looks fun. And I haven't had seen a lot of fun figures that have been coming out. So I'm looking forward to it.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you're rubbing off on me because this is almost a G1 cartoon figure. So you get some Beast Wars, I'll get some G1, and we'll call it even.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about what's been
more though.
We'll see. Let's talk about what's been recently released. So the first thing is people have been finding the Rise of the Beast Studio Series, Core Deluxe, and Voyagers out in Canada, and this picture's from Cybertron.ca, and Legacy Wave 5 Voyagers. So I guess the new movie toys are out on shelves, at least in Canada. I haven't seen any near me, but I haven't really been looking. But I don't think you've seen any either. We didn't see any when we were in Burbank, so hopefully they'll start making it over here for you movie collectors.
Yeah, we went to a couple of stores and didn't see anything at all. The shelves have been really, really naked lately, so it would be good, even if I don't plan on picking them up, it would be good just to see new things on the shelves.
I completely agree. And something else that I think you will want to see on the shelves is we've got the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Origin Jazz. Now, this has been found at retailer. These are some in-hand images that I put instead of the boxes. And again, I don't think I've been to a Target since I've been back, so I haven't seen this figure, but I'll keep an eye out for you because I think you do want it, correct?
I do want it, and I stand corrected. I actually rewatched the show because I was wondering, I was only thinking of Wheeljack, but Jazz was actually in this mode for a couple of seconds on the episode, and so I apologize, Hasbro. I'm 100% in on this, and I know we went to Target a couple of times in Burbank and didn't see it, so as soon as I see it, though, it is definitely purchased.
It will be out of my collection. I understand screen accuracy, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. So I still don't understand why a robot from galaxies away has a Porsche on its chest. And I will not get over that. I cannot get over it. It does not make sense.
Yeah, so, that really did bother me as well. But I saw it on screen, and I was like, oh, I apologize. But mine will also stay in alt mode, though.
The alt mode is very nice. So I do like the alt mode. So, all right, moving on, we have another KO oversized Grimlock, and this one's Reximus Prime, and I really like that name. And this thing looks pretty good. Now, will you be getting this to substitute for Fan Toys Grimlock that I don't think you have yet?
That is the last one I am waiting on, Grinder. And I thought about it. I think so. I have not put a pre-order in on this yet. I was hoping, and I was hoping to find Grinder at TFCon, to be completely honest. So that is still something I'm hunting for. I don't know if I'm going to do that with this figure, though.
It does look good. I'm not going to be getting it just because I don't need Grimlock, an MP Grimlock. That's volcanic. Shuriken. I'm good with my Dinobots from now for the foreseeable future. But it looks nice. So.
Yeah, and I have the Gigapower Grimlock standing in as well right now. So I don't want to start a third set of Dinobots. Well, excuse me, a fourth set of Dinobots now. I forgot about Shuriken as well.
Makes sense. So let's move on to some Dr. Wu stuff. And they have their Nemesis Prime and Shattered Glass Prime. And these look pretty cute. They're cool. I think they're smaller than Legends, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
And so they look pretty cool. And here's them in their alt modes. So they come with their trailers. And yeah, it's not for me, but I can see the appeal to somebody.
I've been trying my hardest, and I still haven't bit the bullet yet on this, but the Dr. Wu figures look so good. And I thought I could have a bunch of these on my desk at work or in my office, and I haven't done it yet. But these two look really, really good, and it's tempting. The price point is cheaper than Legends, so I could buy these. They're smaller than Legends, so I don't have to necessarily find a big display. But I haven't done it yet.
Gotcha. They look cool, but they're not for me either. So, but good for you, for those of you that get it. Now, the last one is one that's very interesting, and I believe this is what's the company? Let me check. This is TransArt BMW or BWM 08 Transmetal Black Widow, and this thing does look really good. After TFCon, I do not have the funds for it, especially since I put that money into that Ultra Magnus. And the reason is because I want the RC repaint. That's who I want this as. But it looks really stinking good. I know I would be very happy with this. What about you, Bobby?
Well, it's on its way.
Oh, look at you.
So the colors got me, and I think it should be here in a week or so. I did get a message that it was sent out, so I will rub it in your face a little bit.
That's fine. We're 1 for 1. I got that Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, exactly. So this was just a random late night on, and I saw it. The colors look really good, and I did get the Rat Trap, and I like the colors on that, so just figured I'd add it as well. And yeah, I kept it, so I will definitely let you know how it is.
Please do. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to this being repainted as RC. I think they teased it, but I mean, that doesn't always come out to anything. So I'm praying to Primus that we're able to add this RC to my records shelf, as well as Tigatron. All right, guys. Well, that's everything we have for you today. So it was kind of long, so we'll see you next time with more news.
Yes, and as always, till all the dates are won.